What if a thought could take on a life of its own? Not just an idea that inspires, but a thought that breathes, that watches, that develops a will separate from your own. Welcome to EnfinityCast, where we peer into the shadows at the edge of reality. I'm your host, Vesper Thorne, and tonight we're exploring a concept that blurs the line between mind and matter. Joining me to navigate this strange territory is my co-host, Theo Lumis.
It's a chilling thought, Vesper. The idea that our own consciousness could be a doorway for something else. Tonight's topic, the Tulpa, is exactly that, a being born from pure concentration.
Precisely. The term originates from Tibetan mysticism, doesn't it, Theo? It wasn't originally meant to be something sinister.
Not at all. In ancient Buddhist practices, a tulpa, or thought form, was a mental creation visualized by a monk through intense, prolonged meditation. The goal was to create a tangible being to overcome attachments or fears. But here's where it gets unsettling. The texts warn that if the creator loses control, the tulpa can become an independent and sometimes malevolent entity.
And there are accounts of this happening. The most famous is from the early 20th century explorer, Alexandra David-Néel. She was one of the first Westerners to extensively study these practices in Tibet.
She decided to create one herself, didn't she, as an experiment?
She did. She spent months meditating, focusing on the image of a short, stout, jolly monk. At first, it was a harmless phantom, a private vision. But then, others began to see him. Her expedition team would glimpse a figure in a monk's robe trailing behind them. The problem was, the tulpa began to change.
How so?
The jolly monk grew leaner, more cunning. His expression turned sly, then malicious. He was no longer under her control. David-Néel wrote that she had to spend 6 months in a grueling ritual to dissolve her own creation, to unthink the thing she had brought into the world.
That story is terrifying because it feels so plausible on the psychological level, and it hasn't stayed in the past. Today, there's a modern internet-based subculture called Tulpamancy. Thousands of people online are following guides to create their own thought-form companions. But they're not creating them for spiritual enlightenment, they're creating them for friendship? A sentient, imaginary friend.
Exactly. And the community is filled with accounts of tulpas communicating, expressing unique opinions, and even controlling the host's body with permission. The question remains, is this an advanced psychological exercise, a form of self-induced plurality? Or are these individuals, like Alexandra David-Néel, opening a door they might not be able to close?
It makes you wonder, if you concentrate hard enough and believe strongly enough, what might start listening from the dark corners of your own mind? Think about that. The next time you have a thought that doesn't quite feel like your own. This has been EnfinityCast.
Stay curious and be careful what you think.